What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Light Warrior 369. Welcome to the show, podcast, whatever. I'm your host, Light Warrior 369. People know me by Joey, but you can call me LW369 as well. I'll be linking my Instagram. I am a Latin artist, also a entrepreneur. I am going to be entrepreneuring. I talk about my business, talking about binaural beats, and I'm actually developing a binaural beat application, so stay tuned for that. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to once it's developed, drop it on. It'll be on Android and iPhone, and it's just something that's helped me along my way in my life. And I think I want to pass that on to you, beautiful people, beautiful energy beings and crystals out there, indigos, all my star seeds, all those crystal children, and let's get into it, man. Let's talk about the topic today. I was like, man, I need to do something. I can't be just sitting home and not doing shit. And excuse me, my language, but I am trying to do a cleansing, a cursing cleanse. I don't want to. It's important. It's important to keep the palate as my grandfather was telling me, he was like, cursing just shows a lack of intelligence. So I don't disagree with that at all. I don't. I think cursing does show some type of lack of intelligence, just maybe a little bit. I don't know. But here we are. Uh, I was thinking. I was like, man, I want to talk about my psychedelic experiences, and also talk about like what binaural beats. Mind you, what people don't know about binaural beats is two frequencies, one that's higher, one that's lower on the like low bass frequencies, and they both, what in the Monroe Institute, what me and Jerry were talking about, is they both make one singular, once they are oscillating, they make one frequency. um so that one frequency you can meditate to, sleep with. I mean, binaural beats helps people cognitively, and this is why it's such a big thing, because look what's going on now. Look what's going on with all the disorder, all this, mental disorders. People just going crazy, batshit crazy. Well, tell you the truth, it's kind of fucked up. Excuse me. Cursing cleanse. It's kind of messed up that in the 80s, the CIA were doing the Monroe Institute studies, and there's so many good factors about binaural beats, and you just don't hear anything about it. There's so many good things that come out of it, like enhanced sleep, enhanced cognitive function, enhanced, I mean, you could just focus throughout the day. Like, I mean, I was the one to, at one point, I couldn't say a lot and think a lot and think clearly and speak clearly. I still can't to this day, but I am trying my best. And I think a lot of it goes to my diet, what what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis when it comes to binaural beats, when it comes to other things, and similar as as taking care of my cognitive function, okay? Taking care of my thought process, my psyche, and making sure that everything that I'm doing is to elevate my frequency, elevate what I'm doing, elevate that. It's very important at this time that we're in right now. Like, I mean, so much craziness. Holy moly. You just hear people dying, child abductions, sexual abductions, just all this just sick stuff, man. Um, but what does it stem from? We got to find this. And, I have a few hypotheses. I want to say theories because I can't prove them. But hypothesis through, several things. I want to continue this. I think this is going to be a long series. I need to get this stuff out. My hypotheses. I'm going to get them out because I want to. Everything I'm thinking, remember, we are receivers. We're receiving information all the time. So we could be receiving divine information. We could be receiving information from the future, from the past, whatever. You know what I mean? We're in the present day. So much going on. It seems like it's almost post-apocalyptic in a way, but let's be real. If it were to fail, humans are so good at adapting. We are so. I mean, look at what our ancestors did. Yes, they had it more rough. They had it more tough, for sure. And I mean, those they were beasts. If you really think about it, they were our ancestors were beasts. To even survive those times, I like in my mind, I'm like, wow, we are soft. But like it's truly. I mean, if you really think about it, it's kind of we've been kind of designed to just rely off the government for so much, for so much. I am such of a soul that I want to be self-reliant. I want to rely off of my own land, my own food. You know what I mean? It's just something that I've always dreamt of, and it one day will happen because I'm talking it into the universe. I'm talking it in, and but let's get into. I know I'm just rambling, but sometimes it's best to ramble, and so I could get out all my points that I want to talk about. Um, binaural beats and my psychedelic experience. Ah, okay. This is a story I want to take talk about because it's been a story I haven't been able to talk about. I like sometimes I think of it in the car when I'm like driving and stuff, and I'm like, this is something I have to talk about. By trade, I was a music engineer when I first started doing music. Duh, music engineer. I know that didn't make sense, but anyways, um, I had a privilege to work with one of my friends, which I do. Al, if you're watching this, I got to, we got to link up, bro. That everything that was on me was on me. It was my bad, and I man up to it. You know, I was going through a lot, but you know, it doesn't matter. The way we split paths shouldn't have been the way it been. But it's crazy. Well, let me get back to that the splitting paths part because the way the mushrooms worked on me. Well, I'm gonna get back to it. Sorry. So for like a few years, I was an amateur, audio engineer. I still consider myself amateur, but I believe I've gotten better than before. Oh wait, extremely better than before. Not just better, but I like completely just mixing knowledge is definitely better than when I first started. But I was working with one of my friends, Al. We went to the same school together. I think he was an incredible artist at the time. That's why I wanted to work with him. But we were working. He was working for. I was working for free, and I realized that how much time was actually being wasted, and it wasn't really particularly his fault. I felt like it's just what the universe wanted, and we had to split paths after a certain event. But I want to get to that event now. So, one night, one day, there was four of us. I put up three. There was four of us that we eventually where after the studio I used to what I used to do is take out all my studio equipment to Al's house to record him. On that particular day, there was three of us. So it was me, Al, Keith, Edwin. Edwin was the guy's name. I can't remember. I know it was horrible. But he's the one that brought the mushrooms, and had brought. It's just the way how the universe works. It's divine intervention. It was supposed to happen that day, and it did. But what's even funnier, that there was a snowstorm the same day. So we weren't going anywhere. The universe is like, you're going to have these shrooms, Joey. You're going to have them. And you're supposed to take these shrooms, and you're going to take the ride of your life. Because I tell you, it was the fucking ride of my life. That thing was amazing. I never thought, like I talk about Doctor Strange, but Doctor Strange and the Scooby Mobile, just chilling with Shaggy, Scooby, and you're just taking the highway to enlightenment, highway to universal peace, knowledge, and just awesomeness, harmonics, just beautiful harmonics. So a snowstorm, a crazy snowstorm hit. So I'm telling you, where I was like, okay, well, what the hell now? Because we couldn't leave. We couldn't leave the house at all. We couldn't even drive because the snowstorm, the flash snowstorm happened quick. We didn't even know it was gonna rain that snow that bad. So either way, with the recording ending, and we're like, damn. So what we do now? And then Edwin, I think is his name. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name for some reason. And mind you, I'm the only Puerto Rican in the group, so the rest of the homies are black. So we just having shrooms in the freaking hood during a freaking snowstorm. And man, that was such an amazing experience. My first time. So, but what's funny is because I was actually preparing myself for my first shrooms because I was watching Psych Substance. Shout out to Psych Substance, dude, you're a beast, and you actually help people with your knowledge about psych substances, psychedelics. You're a beast, bro. Anyways, that being said, so he had about 20 grams. So we each about had 4 grams of shrooms, and it was actually the Golden Teacher strain. What people don't know about the Golden Teacher strain is it's the best strain to start out with your first psychedelic experience. And I tell you, I was so happy. It was such a good experience. Oh my God. Well, that's what people don't know about me, is that a long time ago, I've been through some real bad traumatizing experiences. And so taking shrooms was like a very important thing for me because I wanted to move on with my life, see what was all over the horizon, right? So there was just so much fog at that point in my life, and going into the shroom experience, Edwin, I'm just gonna call him E, because I feel like his name starts with E. He was like, hey, while we tripping, play binaural beats, play meditation music. I was like, okay, that's perfect, because I had 2 monitors, actually the same JBLs I have right here, and I was like, sure, let's do it. So I'm waiting, and like we're smoking weed too, just doing, and I'm waiting for this thing to hit. And I'm like, okay, because I ate it, it tastes like cheese to me, like the mushrooms. We each had 4 grams, about 4 grams, 4.5 maybe. Because he had, like I said, he also had a scale too, which is funny. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's just very convenient that night. It was just amazing. Anyways, so it starts off, and I am experiencing my legs go first. I'm like, that's a weird feeling. My legs, they feel numb, and then it starts rising. It goes from the legs all the ways up, and I'm like, oh, and then I'm like in this state. I'm like, oh, that's how it feels. But that wasn't it. The music starts getting louder. I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then you start hearing cars driving by, and then you hear the I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So auditorial, like I felt the body experience felt first, and then the auditorial second, and then third is what hit the freaking hallucinogenic parts. Was I started seeing just a bunch of different colors, different shapes. I thought I was seeing little people in the room. I swear to you, I thought I was seeing little people. And then I'm like, what the hell? Okay. And then so the binaural beats getting louder. And then I feel this euphoria. And then at the one point, like I closed my eyes, and then once I closed my eyes, it was just a roller coaster from there, because that was it. Like I started seeing a movie. It felt like a movie. Like I was flying through the universe to other planets, seeing other time. Like it had to have been like other time. scenarios, other time places, other time periods, or whatever it's called, and other planets. I thought I was seeing other planets. I thought I was seeing other things. And then, oh my goodness, what I tell you what, it was at this point where I was in I was in a toxic relationship at this point in time in my life. Very toxic. I don't want to get into it, but it was just toxic. Uh, the mushrooms, when I thought about her, the mushrooms sent a signal to my stomach, and my stomach felt like, or my brain sent a signal to my stomach, like, and then my stomach was like sending a signal back to my brain, like there's something wrong. There's something wrong with that person. And I felt that strong stomach. I would never forget that. And when that happened, I seen, and then the mushrooms changed its directory. It changed when I had my eyes closed. It changed from beautiful scenery to a dark and dangerous place. It showed me like an entity of death, of a cloudy death, like just cloud. It's just like dark green, dark purple, very dark, cloudy blues and really blackish blues, and it was just, I was like, whoa, what the heck? If I was like, is that hell? But it was more of, hey, there's something wrong with your relationship, and it might be her. You need to run. It felt like it was warning me, you gotta run. You gotta run. If you don't run, bad shit's gonna happen. And then bad shit did happening, and I eventually did leaving. I ran to another state. And I'll probably talk about that some other time. It's just not, I don't want to get to that now. And so I am flying, and after that, I mean, after they showed me that, I was flying and flying and flying and flying. So that had been about like 3 hours in, and at what point, like the third hour, the last of the third hour, I would say, because it lasted about 4 hours. The last of the third hour, the binaural beats, I'm in this trance-like state. The binaural beats have me in a trance-like state. I feel my body getting healed. And it was literally the mushrooms telling me, when I had my eyes closed, it was telling, you're being healed now. The binaural beats are healing you. Well, not the mushrooms. The beats, the frequency is healing you from everything. You're being healed. This is the future of humanity. Binaural beats is the future of humanity. It's the future. Future! Squared word. Future. And I will never forget that. That mushrooms told me that. And people don't understand. That mushrooms is a divine connection to the astral plane, the conscious plane, the one consciousness, the one singularity. Consciousness is a singularity. Shout out to Dr. Stephen Greer for saying that, because I stole that from him. But it makes sense. Past, present, future, all in one time. It's happening all at the same time. So mushrooms told me that binaural beats is the future. So I'm like, okay, what do I do with this information? What I do? And at that point, I'm like, okay, well, okay, so it's not over yet. The last hour. Al's girlfriend comes in. Somehow I guess the snow must have cleared out. So we kind of got paranoid, and it's stupid as hell that we had no sitter at the time. So it's 4 people, high as hell, high on mushrooms. You know what I mean? And thankfully, the girlfriend was there, because Keith actually, I don't want to say his name. I'll say K. Oh, damn, I already said his name. Damn. One of the homies started having a bad trip. Like he was moving. Like he wasn't enjoying it at all. Other three were having a fucking blast. Al, E, and me and myself. Um, so we told him, hey, you gotta call somebody, you know. And so he ended up getting picked up. Thankfully, man, mushrooms are so strong. And from that point, I realized as soon as we turn off the binaural beats off of the speakers, that's when chaos started erupting. That's when he started having more of, you know. So I realized, I was like, wait, binaural beats was harmonizing us, keeping us in tune, and not in the chaos, like, you know, in tune with the frequencies, in tune. And it was just a beautiful experience for the rest of the three of us. But as soon as we turned it off, that's when chaos started erupting. So imagine that. So the chaos, he started having a bad trip. It wasn't before that. Like, he was fighting it a little bit during the binaural beats, but you could tell that the music was calming him down. You know, the music was really there. But once we turned it off, that's when his chaos started having us move around and stuff. We were moving around the house, like, you know, in a chaotic manner. And it's just interesting that happened that way. What else? It's just, oh man, I don't think I'm gonna edit anything out. I think I'm gonna leave everything like this. I mean, I like being. I feel like too many cuts, you know. But yeah, shout out to that individual. Oh boy. And at that point, I'm about to leave. The high is going down. The high is high. The high is low now. So and then the snow stopped, and just funny how it's like, wow, divinely the snow stopped, and it started, you know, melting away already and getting plowed. At this point, I'm about to go to my car, and then a thought hit me. I was like, wait, one more thing. Asked the mushrooms. In my head, I was like, what was the universe like before? And then gave me an ego death right there while I was standing. It gave me an ego death, and it made me feel nothing. Right inside of my fucking car. I have never felt anything like that way. That was insane. I was like, ego death is not, and not even ego death. It showed me what the universe was like before. And I was like, whoa, that did not feel nice at all. And then a thought came to my head in this exact words: the purpose of life is to live. That nothing, that actually can happen again. What the universe was before, nothing. I was like, whoa, no, I don't like that. I was like, I don't like that at all. No, thank you. I was like, I don't want to go back to nothing. I like the light. I like the harmonics. I like this being, this energy. Thank you for making us. I said the universe. Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. That was amazing. So we're about 25-minute mark in. But yeah, and that's hit. Oh, and I want to say this before I go. I want to thank genres of music, and I want to say it was because of hip hop. Shout out to hip hop. Because of hip hop. Shout out to the four brothers that I went, the other three brothers that, you know, had that mushroom journey with me. That was amazing. That was beautiful, man. You know, And it's hard. And like, let's just think about it. Like, black and brown relations. We're, the homies. You know what I mean? I had a spiritual connection with the homies. I had spiritual high elevation. Um, and I hope those brothers doing well. I'm gonna have to reach out. It's been a long time. I'm gonna reach out. And see how spiritual ascension, their spiritual ascension happened, and how they're doing in their spiritual lives as well. But I want to say that, man, if it wasn't for hip hop, it wasn't for music, I don't think I would ever have would have had my spiritual experience. I want to say I'm very grateful for that. I would have never had my mushroom experience. So it's it's a blessing, and that's why I always have that special place in my heart with hip hop. Even though a lot of things going on right now, I can't really agree with. There's a lot of satanic stuff going on. I really don't. That low vibrational. That doesn't sit right with me, and we got to change that. We got to change that. There's too much death, too much sacrifice. I mean, and how we change that, and I know how to. My hypothesis is binaural beats from the mushrooms. The mushrooms tell me it's the future. I'm like, okay. So, consciously, as a race, and I have more stories about binaural beats. I believe we could contact our spirit guides, and I think most of everything I was learning from wasn't just the mushrooms, but from spirit guides, from from angels, angelic beings, even superhuman, like angelic extraterrestrial beings. I would just say that there's just superhuman, super extraterrestrial, super interdimensional, high harmonic beings. These beings know how to be at the high harmonics every single time. They understand the importance of high harmonics, and the importance of binaural beats. And I believe that their technology is binaural beat related. We have primitive technology at this, but I think amplifying binaural beats will be, how would you say, good, and that it would be good for us, good for humanity. But that's it. That is it for my little story here. I want to do more story times because it's time. It's time to rise above for my people. Light Warrior 369 is out, man. I've been having a great time talking to you guys. I'm gonna do this again. We gotta have Jerry. We gotta have Anthony on. It's just but I love this alone time because it's time for me to talk to you guys. And we're gonna get to that point. We're gonna get to more points. And all I know is that frequency is gonna save us. Sound is gonna save this planet. Sound and meditation. We gotta meditate, people. But I will get into more how we're gonna do this. How step by step how we can save this planet. Light War 369 out. Bye.